Hey everyone! So today we have this animation here by Grigory. It's a jump with a kick and rotation in the air. Now let's check out the reference that was used to create this animation. Now the first thing I suggest we do is that we sort out the reference and we start with blocking. So let's go and mark the keyframes in the reference video itself. So we made a step, we put a keyframe. The last pose before we lose the contact, another keyframe. The highest point of the jump, the extremum, is another keyframe. We'll also mark this pose here, I believe it's important, and when he makes contact with the floor. That's where the feet touch the floor for the first time, and we see that the guy bounces there. We'll figure this out later. In the current animation, we don't have this section here where the guy sort of like rolls and gets up. So we'll focus on the first part, on the jump, and on the landing with the bounce. So let's see. We have quite a few keys in the animation. However, it's important, there's no key for the highest point of the jump. In this animation, this pose is achieved with interpolation. And therefore, it appears to be quite different from the reference. And that's important. The position and the rotation of the torso there is actually crucial. So let's play the reference once again and take a closer look. There's another keyframe here, just on the legs. The foot here, at the point where the character pushes away from the ground, didn't really work well. So let's adjust its position on this frame. So now we have the keyframe at the last point of contact with the ground, and the next frame the contact is lost. And that's good. So the blocking is okay, but also it's a good idea to already have a good jumping trajectory at the blocking stage already. Because now the character sort of starts to go left, but then it sort of goes completely vertically and then continues to move left. And it's not how it works. So it's a good thing to keep in mind. The pose when the character contacts with the ground, here, I guess it's alright. So I'm using the parable tool here. But I believe we'll want to jump a little bit higher than the parable tool suggests. So I'm going to adjust the height here. Something like so. In order to achieve a certain height in the jump, you have to adjust the timing to make sure this trajectory is actually possible with the gravity value you're working in. But it goes the other way around as well. You can change the gravity value in order to preserve the timing that you have. But it's not the case here, so I'll go ahead and adjust the timing. So you will land. I think we really need to adjust the timing. We'll get to this later, but for now, let's snap the trajectory that we got here. And you can instantly see that it has improved already. I'll go ahead and set everything to IK for now, remove the FK interpolation there, to make sure that we keep the center of mass trajectory. So if we had chosen to instead fix the poses first, to get this the highest pose, we would have to check the trajectories when we do the spline. Speaking of which, let's go into spline. When we set up the jump, we make this preparation step there. And in order to make it, we have to raise our pelvis. And when the foot touches the ground, then we can lower the pelvis on it. And that will also serve as a squashing movement before the character makes the jump. Well, because in order to jump, we have to accelerate our center of mass as much as we can before we take off. And we also have to do this in the exact direction of the jump. So in our case, we have to adjust frame 21 in the way so that the center of mass will give us the correct impulse. So our guy here has a better step and a better takeoff. The next important step is to check the way the back rotates. Mind you, we're not looking at the pose now, we are making sure that the trajectory actually looks smooth. As for the spline, the only thing left to do is to fix the position of the foot in the jump. If we check the reference, the guy's foot goes far below the pelvis at this point. Completely different from what we have here. It almost makes like a figure 8 trajectory in the air rather than a loop. So here, during the landing, we put the foot down and we sort of get this figure 8 relative to the pelvis. And next thing to do is to make the rotation a bit more smooth and less punchy. This leg here, we want to straighten it a little bit later and move it a little bit wider so we could see the rotation better. Overall, the mechanics there is actually accurate. Just fixing some minor things like the rotation of the foot here. And there you go.